Right, so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the fact that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend most time with, and that you can use those people's influences on you to your advantage. But you are only going to be able to learn about those things if you keep watching the video. If you keep watching what I'm going to tell you, if you're going to pay close attention to everything that I'm going to say, every single second of this video, you are going to be off better than all of those other people out there. You're going to be off 10 times better than all of those random people out there who are just sitting on their phones doing nothing, scrolling through TikTok like that, right? You're not like those people, are you? No, you're not. You're here. You have ambition. And so I want you to keep watching this video, and I want you to gain every single piece of value that I'm going to give you and use it to your own advantage and destroy your competition. And so keep watching the video and pay attention. Right, I'm gonna start this off by telling you something that you might already know, but you don't even want to understand. We are always being influenced by our environments. The way that we live our lives is based around the way that our environments are. The circumstances in which our environments exist also dictate our own existence. And there's a good reason why this has been happening for the entire history of the human race. It's because if we are not in accordance with the environment that we're living in, we cannot adapt, we're going to die. And so you need to understand that although this is something that might feel very frustrating, you might feel as if there are certain influences out there that you don't really want, and that perhaps that's the reason why you clicked on this video. You need to understand that although there's things out there that you might not even want, there's a good reason why this is happening, right? And this is human nature. And although it might feel very helpless to think that we are always being influenced by our environments and there's no way to escape this, there's something very empowering about it. And that is the fact that we get to choose how we're being influenced by our environments, whether that is in a positive or negative light. And you need to start paying attention to the people that you have in your life. Think about the people that you have around you right now. Think about the 5 people that you usually have in your life right now. Are they really good for you? Are they people that you genuinely care about? Are they people that you genuinely feel like you need in your life? Are they people that you could not live without? Are they people that drive you to wake up in the morning and live your life? Are they people who have high standards for you? Are they people who keep you accountable when you fail? Are they people who tell you the truth, not your truth? Are they people that are there for you, not just for the sake of profiting off of you? The answers to those questions might not even be what you've expected them to. And so I understand if you need some time to think and to put those things down on a piece of paper or relate them in your mind. Most of the time, you won't even be aware of other people's influence on you. It will be something that will be happening indirectly. There's 2 ways that you can be influenced. One is directly. It's by direct factors. Let's say you're walking on the sidewalk and there's a car that just randomly hits you, right? That is a direct influence. And it can also be indirect influences, which, for example, it could be walking past a really cool guy on the street who has a cute girl by his side. And you see the way that he dresses and you think, oh, I'd really like to dress like that. And you suddenly just find yourself searching for clothes that are very similar to his. And you start basing your fashion on his idea of fashion. That is indirect influence. I'm going to give you a really good example of indirect influence on me. When I started high school in 9th grade, I was driven to not become the class punching bag again. And that is because in 8th and 7th grade, I got bullied in school and I got some trauma out of it, which I luckily managed to fix through self-improvement. And yet I knew that I did not want to ever go through that kind of experience again. And so I understood that I needed to change something in my behavior. And instead of actually adopting good values in my life and actually becoming an important, valuable person for other people who does not deserve to be the class punching bag, but actually a valued member of the class, I chose instead to just start acting like all the other people because that is the better, easier choice. Or at least I thought so. In the short term, it might seem very easy to just start acting like other people, right? It might seem very easy to just start doing your hair in a certain way. It might seem very easy to just wear different clothes that you don't even like, but other people wear, so you might as well wear them as well, right? You might start actually just walking in a certain way or looking at people in a certain way because others do it and, it seems to go well for them. And you don't really want to miss out on anything, right? And at the same time, you don't want to be the class punching bag, do you? You don't want to be the one that's actually standing out because of something good or something bad. No, you'd rather just be like everyone else. You'd rather be just one of the sheep. And so that's what I chose to do. Indirectly, I started being influenced by the people around me and I started wearing more similar clothes to theirs. I started laughing at stupid jokes I didn't even like. I started making jokes and I started saying things that were genuinely unlike me. I started changing my personality traits, my values, my core values based on what other people would think of me, based on what other people thought. And so you can imagine that things didn't really go well for me. I remember coming out of school and going to handball practice. While I was going down that route, I felt a sudden empty emptiness flow through me. While I was in school, I was always lively. I was always laughing at all the jokes, and I was always just so happy and whatever. I was always trying to be like everyone else. But once I got out of school, once I was on that quiet route to the gym where I was playing handball, that is when I got to be myself, and that is when I realized that I was so unhappy with the way that I was living my life. I could not recognize myself when I was looking in the mirror, when I saw my hair done in a certain way, when I saw my haircut, when I saw my clothes, when I saw my own pictures and my own behavior in certain situations. When I look back on it, I just could not see myself into it, and I felt unhappy for such a long time because of it. And this is because of the indirect influence that all those other people had on me. I didn't choose to be like them in a conscious manner. I didn't consciously choose to be like all these other people because they're so cool, and oh my god, they're amazing. No. I didn't choose to be like all those other people consciously, thinking that, I'm gonna do this just because I don't want to be the class punching bag. No, I just started thinking that this would be a better alternative to doing things than to actually try something else. It's much easier to just start changing your behavior and your clothes just to match somebody else's. And this is something that has directly affected my subconscious. It has been something that has affected my way of life for such a long time, and it's only in the past few months that I've been capable of actually changing it. That I've been capable of actually changing my own way of life to my authentic self. And so there will be some times when you won't be capable of choosing what other people's influences will be on you. Whether that's in your family, whether that's in school, whether that's in work. There are certain things that you won't be able to change. There are some people that you won't be able to just suddenly get rid of. You're gonna have to see them on a daily basis. I mean, you don't want to get rid of your family, do you? Maybe some of them, they don't have the best values. Maybe some of them, they don't live the best lives. And yet their family, you cannot get rid of them. I mean, what would life be without your family? And you cannot really get out of school completely, can you? And you cannot just quit your job tomorrow and just go on about your crazy Sigma grindset path, do you? No, you still have to be with those people. To some extent, you still have to be in that sense before you can do the full transition to something better. And at least in that period of time, you're going to be around those people and they're still going to have an indirect influence on you. And so because of this, I fought and I've developed something which I call a filter, a mind filter. When you are in a situation where you cannot really avoid other people's influences on you, when you cannot just say, I'm going to stop being friends with this person, just go on your merry way. Or what, I'm going to say, yeah, I just don't want to be with that person, so I'm just going to walk the other way, I'm never going to see them again. When that's not the case, when you're going to have to see those people again, when you're going to have to spend time with those people every single day to some extent, you are going to run things through a filter. Right? This filter is something that happens in your mind. This filter is basically just questions that you ask yourself whenever you get any kind of input from the world. When you get any kind of thoughts, any kinds of beliefs, desires from the outer world, you run them through all these kinds of questions which serve as a filter so that you don't get any bad influences across and into your mind. So imagine that the filter is the gateway from the outside world and from the mind, right? The outside world gives a bunch of input, it goes through, and it meets the filter. And only the good things come out on the other side, and they go into your mind. And again, this filter is just questions that you ask yourself. For example, you're walking down the street and you see this random person with this cute girl or something, and you think that guy, wearing all these kinds of cool clothes and, and everything, and he has the cool haircut and everything, and he has the really attractive girl by his side, you might feel very compelled to just let those influences into your mind without any second thoughts. But that is when you have to use the filter. That is when you have to use the questions to your advantage. That is when after the person has passed and you think back on what just happened and you feel all the desires just pouring in or trying to pour in your mind, just beating on the door, that is when you start filtering out all of those things. That's when you start asking questions. Is this what I really want for myself? I see this desire that has formed in my mind right now. This desire that I want to be like this other person. I want to have what this guy has. I want to behave like him just to get this. When you feel that desire and you can properly materialize it to some extent in your own mind and understand what it means, you need to ask questions. Is this truly what I want for myself? Is this something that I know will help me in the future? Is this something that I'm not gonna regret in the next 10 years? Or is it something that I will regret in the next 10 years? Is this something that I know is just a product of other people's influence on me? Or is this something that has a correlation to my authentic personal desires? And a lot of the times, the answer will be no. I'm gonna be honest, most of the time, 99% of the time, when you're gonna be asking those questions and you're gonna have all those desires and all those kinds of influences, the answer will be no. No, I don't think this thing will help me in the next 10 years. I don't think I'm gonna be looking back on this thing in the next 10 years and actually feel grateful for it. No, I don't think that this is actually gonna help me do anything. I don't really think that me dressing this in this certain way or me getting this certain watch or me just getting this certain necklace or something is gonna help me at all. That is when you know you filtered out everything. That is when you know that all those things, all those influences that you've gotten just from by walking past another person, you're gonna realize that all those influences, they're all filth. They're all things that you have to just get rid of. And you're gonna have a few certain things, a few good certain things go through that filter. Good things which have been filtered out from the filth. And that might be the realization that people like that and people who dress and walk in a certain way, I don't want to be like them because I just don't have a reason to. Like, they're genuinely the opposite of what I want, or I don't like them and I feel like they're not going to help me. So next time I'm going to walk past another person like this, because let's be honest, most people who have been influenced by a certain thing will dress and will act in the same way, will behave in the same way. And this is something that I've realized in school, especially regarding clothes, regarding fashion, regarding behavior and beliefs. Most people who have been influenced and don't care, they don't even know that they're being influenced, they are being influenced the very same way. And so once you get to pass some things through the filter and you get to realize that, those things that I thought were nice and everything, I realize that they're not, they're stupid, they're actually a waste of my time. Now I know not to indulge in them ever again. Next time I'm gonna walk past another person on the street who has a cute girl by his side or something, and he dresses and he behaves in a certain way, and he does the exact same things as this other guy did, now I know that I can just avoid this completely because I've had this experience before. This is the benefit of having a memory. This is the benefit of memorizing and remembering stuff, because you can remember something that happened in the past and use it as well again. When you walk past this guy again, you realize, oh, this happened before. When you see something cool and when you just know that there's always going to be these desires popping and you're going to remind yourself this happened before, what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to go through the process of asking questions. Is this something that genuinely means a lot to me? Is it going to help me? Am I going to regret this in 10 years? Is this going to help my loved ones live a better life? No? All right, cool. I'm going to disregard it again. I'm going to keep that in my memory. And next time that anything happens like this, any single time that I get an influence, an external influence, I'm going to run that through the filter again. This is the importance of the filter. You get better at filtering out the bad influences from your life by becoming more self-aware or mindful, whatever you want to call it, and by developing your willpower. When you become more self-aware, you are aware of your own thoughts. You become more aware of your own tendencies. The things that you tend to do sometimes, the things that you have a weakness for, the things that you know you don't have a weakness for. You get to kind of map out your mind. And that is a very valuable skill to have. And this is basically what you've started doing ever since you started self-improvement, right? Through journaling, through meditating, through spending time without technology around you. You build self-awareness. And self-awareness is one of the leading factors to success, I believe. Like, I genuinely think that most people out there who I've seen successful, they're all self-aware. They all know what their tendencies are. They all understand their minds. They all understand the way that they should be working in an optimal way in order to achieve the success that they want. The people out there who don't know what their mind is, who don't know what is within their minds, they're always going to be the people at the bottom. And so this is why you need to build self-awareness. It's because those people at the bottom, there are all the people who are getting influenced and they don't even know it. But once you know that you are being actively influenced by other people, and you know that you can use this to your advantage by running things through the filter and gaining other things, now that is valuable. Now that is when you become a stronger person. And that is when you differentiate yourself from the bottom. And you build willpower and you train it by rejecting and actively being against all of these very attractive desires which are in your everyday life. You can train your willpower by having a conscious desire that you know that you really, really want. And you feel like you're gonna give into it and just telling yourself, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm just gonna completely disregard this. No matter how much I love it, no matter how much amazing this could be, I don't care. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to indulge in this thought. I'm not going to indulge in this desire. That is willpower. A very simple way to think about willpower is having your favorite snack, having your favorite all-time snack, and just setting it on your desk and just staring at it like a freaking maniac. That is a really good definition of willpower in its material way. And you can think of the snack as the very desire that you want, the thing that you want, and the desk being your mind, right? And you set it in your mind, you set it on your mind on the desk, and then you just stare at it like a maniac while knowing that you're not going to touch it, while you know that you're not going to open it. That takes willpower. That is how you train it. And this self-awareness and willpower, those are two things that are going to help you become a stronger, better person who will not be negatively influenced by other people. When you have willpower, you get to resist the initial desire to be like that person, to be like that guy, to have what that guy has. You resist the initial desire, and then your self-awareness gets to analyze what is happening. Your self-awareness gets to understand what is going on and to validate whether it's actually good for you or not. Once you are conscious of your own authentic beliefs and your desires, the things that you know your heart desires, the things that your soul wants, it craves. Once you understand some of those things, even on a very small level, you're going to be way better than everyone else at staying away from bad influences, from staying away from stupid desires. Once you understand what your mind works like, and once you understand what your heart wants, what you truly want and you expect from the world, then all of these bad influences, all of these desires coming in your mind, or just trying to come in your mind, just banging at the door, you can start trying to correlate them to your authentic desires. And if you see that they are actually connected, well, cool, maybe I can start doing the certain thing so it can match my authentic desire. But if it doesn't match this authentic desire here, then it is something that you know you can just take away completely. You compare the initial influence that other people have on you, you compare the thoughts, you compare the desires that have suddenly come in your mind to this one thing with this one pillar, which is keeping your mind in place. You're comparing those things to this. Does this actually make sense? Does this actually correlate to this? If it doesn't, then I know just to take it away. Then I know that it doesn't even matter if it's nice, if it's not something that really helps add to this pillar of authenticity, of personal fulfillment, then there's no reason to actually start pursuing it. Then it's just something that I know I will regret in the next few years of my life. Start being conscious of your thoughts, of your beliefs, and your desires. And one last thought that I have is that you need to start spending time around people who speak the truth, not your truth. You know, there's a lot of people out there who will be willing to speak your version of the truth, the thing that you want to hear, because it is much more convenient. For me, it was much more convenient to just start acting like other people in 9th grade and to just try to be like everyone else, because that would be much more easier and less dangerous for me. Instead of actually pursuing my own path in life, my own fulfillment, the actual objective truth. And so once you find people in your life who are willing to speak the truth, the objective truth about things, and not just this random thing that you really want to hear which feeds to your ego, that is when things are going to truly move forward. And this is basically what we try to find on self-improvement. We're trying to find people who will be there and tell us the objective truth about things. And tell us that even though you failed, it doesn't matter because you're going to keep doing this again. You're going to do this again and again and again. And it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if you failed or not. You cannot live with failure. They're going to tell you that. And I'm going to tell you this right now. You cannot live with failure. And so you're going to have to keep pushing forward until you get past the failure and you reach into the success. No matter how easy it might think to just, it's just failure and it's normal, it's part of life. If we keep going by that theme, we're never going to end up anywhere. That is what all the people who are mentally masturbating, that is what they're saying. It's fine to fail. It's fine to just be mediocre and everything, right? Well, I'm telling you, it's not fine to fail. It happens, but that doesn't mean it's fine. A bunch of horrible things in life happen, but are they genuinely fine? No, they're not. And so this is a really good example of somebody speaking the truth, or at least what I believe is the objective truth. There's a really good quote that I like. It goes by the lines of, if you are the smartest person in a room, you are doing something wrong. And that you should be the dumbest person in a room. I don't exactly remember how the quote is, but it goes by the lines of this. If you're the smartest person in the room, it means that everyone else around you is dumber than you. It means it's just people who are going to speak your own truth. And it's just people who are going to feed into your ego and you're never going to make any progress. But once you surround yourself with people who make you feel dumb, not in the way that, they genuinely make you feel dumb, but, they make you feel dumb as in the fact that they know so much more than you do, that you can learn so much more from them. When you surround yourself with people who have so much more knowledge, that is when you grow. That is when you make progress. Surround yourself with only people who want the best for you. So yeah, man, if you've gained any value from this video, then consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, sharing it with other people. This could be the best possible thing that you could do to help me out. Just share this video with other people who you think might be able to get some value out of it, who might be able to win something out of watching this video, like you have. And if you want to talk to me or to other people about self-improvement, about this subject or other subjects in general, you can join the self-improvement Discord server that I have. I think the link is in the description, so you can find it there. So yeah, man, take care of yourself and keep going forward. Don't stop. Good luck.